Hello Jan, I've got your BR24 distributor rebuilt and ready to test. The noise in the background is the machine warming up. Before we test as the machine warms up, I want to go over a few things. This bolt that goes through the body is insulated and isolated from the body. Here's one isolator right here. And then inside here you've got an isolation pad. It's hard to see. I'm going to use a flashlight real quick. Alright, so you got an isolation pad, and then underneath that pad you may see a piece of paper, a strip of paper. That's a factory official strip of paper that helps make sure that there is no contact between the points, between this set of points right here and the body. And you have a little tab right here which has ears on it, which keeps this isolator block in position. So whenever you change the points, you have to make sure this metal here does not contact the body and stays in position. And the let's see what else. So the points are an electrical switch. As they open and close, they allow power to go to the coil, and then when they open, the field inside the coil collapses and all that electricity goes zipping up to your spark plugs. So you have to have the proper gap here, and that's what. And then as your points come around and open on the lobe, the amount of time from the flat here around the lobe to the flat here is measured in degrees, and that's your dwell. And we're going to measure that over here on the dwell meter, obviously. And we got the RPM up here. So first thing we're going to do is I've got the contacts leads for the distributor connected together. So we're going to go over here to calibrate. We're going to calibrate our needle for the dwell. Make sure it's right on the money, and it is. Okay, so now we're going to take these apart. I have to put the phone down to do that. This lead goes to the distributor. You see a little spark right there. This goes to ground. And we're going to go over to 4-cylinder. And that's going to read our degrees of dwell. And you'll notice it's doing what it's doing is reading. And as I move the distributor, it bounces around because it's not doing anything right now. Points are opening and closing, but it's not measuring anything because they're not rotating. Now the other part of this is going to be the electrical signal sent to the wheel right down here, which is going to tell us our degrees of advance and our timing in terms of the separation of the lobes and the wiggle of the shaft, if there is any. And what you're going to do is we're going to start the distributor rotating and then speed it up, and you're going to see these marks move. I'm going to be turning you see these marks move. I'll be turning the lights off so we can see the orange flashes from the neon tube. But before that, we'll do the dwell. Now then, how do we know what we're supposed to look for? We got the instructions right here. All right, 190 SL BR24. This is your point gap right here. We're using a feeler gauge, and here's our gap in terms of dwell. So we're going to go look for 50 degrees. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to our advance, and our starting RPM is 320, and then we expect to see 10 degrees of advance at 940 and 15 degrees at 1300. So first thing we'll do is we will turn this thing on, and we will see we've got our 50 degrees of advance, because obviously I've already set it. And the way you adjust that is right here. Loosen your screw and you adjust this back and forth to get your gap right there. And of course you do that when the lobe comes right underneath the rubbing block. Also, you notice you have a small arrow right here which shows you direction of rotation. You can't really see it there very well, and there's a little bit of grease underneath here for lubricating the rubbing block. So now let's go ahead and crank this up. We've got our 50 degrees of dwell, so we're good there. Now let's go to our RPM. We're going to switch to the low scale. Starting RPM 320. Alright, it's good enough right there. We're reading on the top scale right up here. So 200, 320. And what we see is our flashes down here. Now, if you can see them well enough, I won't have to turn the lights off. So what we're going to do is we're going to set our scale to 0. Alright, so 0. As our other flash is at 90. Well, there's 90. The other, and we want to make sure our flashes are right on within 1 or 2 degrees of the 90 and 270 and all that geometric stuff. Anyway, there's the other flash right there. So yeah, that means your lobes are not worn out, and you notice that how steady the flashes are. They're not wiggling around, so your bushings are good. So our next signpost is going to be at 940. We're looking for 10 degrees of advance. So upper scale, 900, 940. You come down here. We were at 0 here, and we've advanced to 10 degrees. So if we go back to the starting RPM, back to 0. And there we go, we've got 10 degrees of advance, so that looks good. And we're going to switch over to the high scale because our next signpost is 15 degrees at 1300 RPM. Bottom scale, 1000. And 1300. And 0, 5, 10, 15 was actually about 14 degrees, so looking good. Let's see if we go make it within 1 degree. Nope, got 15 here. 14, 15, alright. We are within 1 degree, and that's plenty good enough for running the car, and we're still at 50 degrees dwell. And that's going to change as the rubbing block and the points wear, but it will take a long time before it's going to change. So I've got you an excellent rebuilt starter, which should give you many years of service. Let's see if there's anything else I can mention. This is your reference point for number 1. In terms of installing when you're rebuilding the engine, installing the distributor and the drive for it and that sort of thing, that's your reference right there. That points, the rotor points to that, and that's the number 1 spark plug lead. So, I think I got you taken care of. Thank you, sir, for sending it. Oh, that's right, I forgot, yes. Your distributor did not have a little felt inside down in here. There's supposed to be a piece of round felt that goes down in there, and you lubricate this felt periodically with a couple of drops of oil, and it trickles down so that this part here will rotate and move smoothly. This part is sitting on a shaft that is connected down here to the bottom of the distributor. So this actually has to move, and you can check to make sure your return springs are doing their job and nothing is hanging up. But there's a little felt in there, and yours was missing that felt, so I got you taken care of there. Got your oiler here. You can see I got a little oil there coming out from high speed work. Wipe that off someplace. So you just a couple of drops of oil in there. There's a felt down inside here. That oiler leads to a path. There's a felt down inside here, and this is obviously on the bottom, so they got some oil probably coming out. But the felt, I took the felt out and cleaned it out. It's up inside the body inside here, and that's what lubricates the shaft. You don't get any lube from the engine or anything like that. Okay, I think that does it. Thank you.